Today we stream live from beneath the chemical skies, as many believe that plasma is magic. Magic plasma. It's so magical, people have known about it for over 100 years, and it's the most common form of matter in the universe. But people still proclaim that it's magic. Maybe we'll make a reaction video about another space weather forecaster at a later time. Anyway, thanks for tuning in, folks. Just doing a puzzle here in the eye of the beholder. Yeah, oh yeah, a Mercury puzzle. Watch out. Oh no, look out. It's by NASA. So you should definitely be scared. And you should definitely accuse me of being a member of the Illuminati. So thanks to everybody who has. Yes, I'm definitely a CIA shill. We'll be talking space weather, Earth weather, and whatever you've got in the comments. So bring it on. If you've got a question, go ahead. Go ahead and ask. Ask about the Rainbow Coalition and oh, she's got me on silent. Well, unfortunately, I don't know sign language. I don't know sign language, so hi. So yeah, I mean, we had some glancing blows, some like little minor space weather events that might have people spooked. Maybe somebody jumped in their bunker as a result. But yeah, there was nothing bunker worthy that happened in the past couple of days. It looked like we'd have a more of a direct hit than we actually got. So, but we'll take a look at if there's any more solar storms created, and we'll look at Earth weather. We'll look at the jet streams from all around the planet. Since there's an interesting convergence happening in Eastern Australia. We'll even maybe talk about geoengineering in China. You know, because China is trying to affect the jet stream, to affect the monsoon season, to make it less arid in certain places. Yeah, it's actually not a shirt. It's actually a windbreaker. But it's not LGBT. It's just a rainbow. It's from the 90s. It's an Ocean Pacific windbreaker from the 90s with a rainbow on it. It doesn't have anything to do with LGBT anything. But yeah, it's OG vintage stuff. OG vintage stuff. I'm dressed like Moby. Oh yeah, Moby. Moby he's practically a cosmologist, that guy. What an exciting artist Moby is. He just found out in like 1998 that we're all made of stars. Yeah, all right, we got people from the Southern Hemisphere tuning in. Cheers. Congratulations on realizing the channel exists. So let me get up to the actual recording studio, green screen area, the Smash News Network, least busted name in news. It's a beautiful day in the heliosphere, a beautiful day for a queer in the heliosphere. Would you be a queer? It's a neighborly day in this beauty wood, a neighborly day for a beauty of an OG rainbow windbreaker. I have always wanted to do space weather for people like you. I have always wanted to live in a neighborhood with Jews, so let's make the most of this beautiful day. Since we're together, we might as well say, would you view my, could you view my, won't you view space weather? Won't you please? Please won't you view space weather? Hi, YouTube! Oh, yes. All right, so yeah, we're gonna look at Earth weather and space weather and so on, and there are some things we'll show and some things we won't. If you'd like to talk about the chemical skies above, now's a great time to put it in the comments. Chemical skies. Yeah, chemical skies. It's full of nitrogen and oxygen and H2, that dihydrogen oxide stuff that people are very spooked of. Yeah, chemical skies. It's very scary. There are some sulfates in there coming out of volcanoes. Oh my God. Look out. There are sulfides. Oh no, sulfides. Maybe brown at the end of the rainbow. Yeah, I'll get to your comments here. Thanks to everybody who's left them. I will get to them in a minute. But first, how about some solar imagery? We just put up the world's most comprehensive daily space weather content. No big deal. So that is what's going on the past about 12 hours. And let me angle this down a little lower here. It's too high. There we go. That's better. I'll get rid of these lights. I will change the lighting for your viewing pleasure. Now, we may make a reaction video later today, like a little later this morning. Again, thanks everybody for typing chats. I will get to them. I'll even put them on the screen like so. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Don't forget to leave a comment. I might even put it on screen. So anyway, the sun has been pretty chill here for the past 12 hours. I don't see any major activity. What about you? If you are spooked of stars, please press unsubscribe today. Make sure you unsubscribe from all channels that are talking nonsense, because nonsense and science don't really go together very well. You see, people that do the real science, we get pissed off because of the nonsense. It's very irritating. So that's why I like to lambaste those who don't understand meteorology when they think that planes are spraying. So the best place to be made fun of regarding chemtrails is on Twitter. So, join us over there. We've got a Twitter account. We will make fun of you in the comments forever if you don't know how clouds and planes work. All right, so let me disrobe here because it's a little bit too warm. It's getting hot in here, so I'll take off some of my clothes. There we go. That's a Nelly reference, by the way, for all of you who like pathetic beta cuck pop rap disguised as hip hop. Nelly, folks. He drives a Lambo or something. We're all very impressed. All right, so let's see. What do we have here? Let me read your comments. I'm going to put the sun back on the screen. There you go. All right. So what do you got? Talk about Tropic Thunder? No, I don't want to talk about Tropic Thunder. I don't know what it is. Yeah, not Tropic Thunder. Not worth the time. I don't know. Maybe. Tell me what it is in the comments and maybe it's worth the time. Tropic Thunder. Tropic of Capricorn, Tropic of Cancer, Tropic Thunder. Is that anything like Days of Thunder? I don't know what it is, but Varun Singh says, I support Rainbow. Thank you. Creative Publisher says, when did you find out you're gay? Never. Plunger says, what's wrong with being gay? Absolutely nothing. Stephen Duck says, maybe brown at the end of the rainbow. Well, there's a lot of shite on YouTube, so there's that. Yes, Kennedy, better not breath or even breathe. Better not breath, says Kennedy 2.1. Look out behind you, to the right. Is that voice-to-text Mark Smith? Is that why there's grammatical errors? Is it because the AI isn't I? Yeah, I know. It's artificial that it's intelligent. Absolutely idiotic. The NASDAQ bubble, AI. It's about to crash your 401k, so sideline like half your money. I wish I thought about bringing some ears up to the house. Kimberly. Kimberly is deaf right now, folks. She's deaf. 360 spin for us. Hey, what topic are you talking about? I'm talking about weather on Earth and in space. Vlad Petrakov 7983 says, you are gay. Thanks for the info, Vlad. You're so insightful. Bro, I was just about to ask for solar imagery. I know, it's Kismet. Isn't that amazing that a channel whose most of our content is about space weather would show solar imagery? It's bonkers. It's bonkers. All right. Yeah, the sun has been pretty calm here. Not really like any major activity. We will look for incoming solar storms and so forth. Barry is God's Child 95 says, you're an angry man. Barry knows about my motivations, apparently. Do you think foundational Black America deserve reparations? I don't know what foundational Black Americans are. Eugene Hicks, absolutely not. NKGJ says, the guy with the Band-Aid under his eye. Yeah, Nelly, that's right, Nelly. Nelly has adopted a Band-Aid as part of his fashion accessories. You know, I guess that way you look like you've been punched in the face recently. That gives you street cred, like, you know, when you have none. Ben Stiller, Tropics Thunder. Oh, is it a comedy with Ben Stiller? I would totally watch it. Is it good? Tropics Thunder. I'm excited. If it's funny, yeah. Ivy Hulme says, are you gay? No, definitely not. Zero interest in dudes. Zero interest in dudes. I find, to quote Seinfeld, I find them repugnant and unappealing. Yeah, no interest in dudes whatsoever. Fat man, little world says, I'm bricked up. Yeah, you're bricked up. I'll bet you're bricked up. You're probably trying to use an Android device to view YouTube, which is a barely functional app. Exactly. I love rainbows. It doesn't make me gay. Kimberly is on point. It's almost enough to give her a wrench. Like, I mean, she's enough to make a managing moderator out of, but there you go. Kimberly Nichols Gallery. Check out her art, by the way, on Redbubble. Super King Anthony says, I get bricked every time I see the sun. Let me take it off the screen so you can unbrick. Cosmic ray flux remains at a 20-year low, as you can see here. And if you're new to the channel, you may not know that cosmic ray flux is at its low when the sun is at its high. So here you can see back in 2004 was the last time we saw cosmic ray flux as low as it is today. 2004. So we're at about a 22-year low in cosmic ray flux. There it is on the Oulu neutron monitor, one of the reliable cosmic ray monitors. Cosmic rays, by the way, they are particles coming from deep space. We measure the secondary particles, and I just figured I'd share. Anyway, here is one of our cosmic ray producers, Cygnus X3, the high mass X-ray binary, and we're looking at its X-ray output based on the baseline from Crab Nebula, because the Crab pulsar is a very reliable X-ray source, and that's what the baseline, that's how this instrument is calibrated. It's the Neil Gehrels Swift Observatory. It monitors hard X-rays. So that's Cygnus X3, located about 32,000 light years away in the Milky Way galaxy. Next is, here's our Huxt animation. And it looks like Reading is expecting more space weather on the way. So another CME. It looks like it's going to be a mild one, not real dense. But it looks like 2 CMEs are on the way to Earth. So that's always nice. Hopefully we'll see some mid-latitude aurorae here in eastern Pennsylvania. Let us know where you're located in the comment section. Again, we are responding to comments. They are right here. So whether you're viewing live or in syndication, just remember that we do see all comments. Next is the solar wind data. And it's pretty nominal right now. We're below 400 kilometers a second for the, just around 400 kilometers a second for the solar wind velocity. Solar wind density here about 2.2 protons per cubic centimeter. That's pretty nominal, pretty uninteresting, not scary. If you're spooked of that, well, I hope you live in a bunker full time, because that's nothing to be spooked of. Here is our sunspot number from Royal Observatory, Belgium. And sunspot number currently at about 110 sunspots. 110 is the sunspot number. Next is NOAA's forecast for space weather. We're looking at Space Weather Enthusiast dashboard here. And there you go. It looks like they have not seen these latest CMEs, the ones that University of Reading is forecasting. Keep in mind, folks, NOAA does under forecast a little bit because they have a different mission than NASA. NASA over forecasts a little bit because they don't want astronauts exposed to too much radiation. Moving right along to more stats about the current solar activity. Sunspot number shown here in the red. Again, we're at about 110, so this will come up a little bit. Radio flux, which is the black line here, that's the 10.7 centimeter radio flux, discovered in 1946 by some Canadians, I think, 46, 45, something like that. There it is. The radio flux is currently at about 157, 158 solar flux units. As the sun ramps down, as we watch the declining side of solar cycle 25. So here's our coronagraph, the new GOES 19 coronagraph. It's got higher res, and doggone, is it cool? Coolness factor is super high. Coronagraphs. They show us the sun's corona by putting an obscurement disk. So this shows us where the sun's surface actually is. That's about where the chromosphere would be located, somewhere around the transitional region. And then the innermost corona here is obscured. So we can see the K corona, that's the really hot part, and that's what you're viewing here. So that's our coronagraph. And like I said, it looks like there are two more CMEs on the way. Let's see if we can see them from Stereo A's perspective. So you go to the Integrated Space Weather Analysis Center, you click on solar, you click on Stereo A Core 2 Space Weather Beacon, and that's going to show you what you want. So we'll put up the last couple of days here, press play. And there's your Stereo A data. We should see a couple of CMEs coming out of the left side here, and indeed we do. So I'll let that play through a minute here as I address additional comments. Thanks to everybody who's typed some. We can put this overlapping a little bit here because Earth would be off in this direction from the perspective of Stereo A. Stereo A is located this is where stereo is located with perspective of Earth. It's way over there. So here's the sun, here's Stereo A. All right, what do we have here? Real Eyes, Realize, Real Lies, Kentucky says, oh man, you can see my comments? Yeah, I can see your comments. Venefica Delirium says, take a shit on the sun. Yeah, I would invite you to. If you're able to do that, I would be impressed. Robert Downey, yes, all three funny. Okay. Oh, wow. Can anyone see my comments? Yeah, we can see your comments, dude. Man, Solar Maximum messing with my cosmic rays. Give me some rays, goddammit. I know, right? insufficient particle flux. Like, damn, not enough cosmic rays. People are spooked of cosmic rays. So that's something, we get the solar minimum, we can, you know, we can be alarmist imbeciles who don't understand science and be spooked of cosmic ray flux. So give it a couple years, 2, 3 years, and we'll be in the depths of solar minimum again, and we can be like, no, cosmic rays, I'm very spooked. Oh no. Spooked. Something to be spooked of. You got to have something to be spooked of, folks. Because if you're depending on if you're trying to run Venezuela or not, it all depends. Okay, here we go. 3I Atlas thoughts. Yeah, I've got thoughts on 3I Atlas. It's a comet. It is a comet, and that's it. It came from a different solar system. It's not from the Oort cloud because of its trajectory. It's a comet. It does exactly what a comet does. Not only that, it does exactly what you would expect an interstellar comet to do. It does nothing a comet doesn't do, and everything a comet does do. So that's what I think about 3I Atlas, that it is a comet, an interstellar comet, and nothing more. Matthew G7R1Y says, risk of skin cancer is very low today, everyone. Why? How? What are you talking about? Can you back this up with anything factual? Bita Culture says, is this a circumcised system? I don't know what that means. I mean, solar system, bloody autocorrect. Oh, yeah. Autocorrect. Yeah. Voice to text. AI, it's so smart. AI is so smart that it can't build a functional smartphone app or produce voice to text. But it's going to create a utopia, folks. Pardon my sarcasm. The wizards of AI, they're going to create a utopia using this fraud about artificial intelligence being intelligent. I see we've got some people saying the word firmament in the comments. Yeah, the word firmament. You should probably be able to understand junior high physics before leaving a comment. Yes, the comet is alien in that it's from a different solar system. It's from outside the solar system. It's doing all the things that an interstellar comet would do. That's it. And it doesn't matter what Stefan Burns says about anything, because Stefan Burns mixes in a heaping helping of nonsense with his facts. So that's the problem that people have with Stefan Burns. Stefan Burns sucks at his job because he allows a lot of nonsense to get funneled in to the facts. And then he puts out alarmist thumbnails and titles and frankly talks like an idiot. So that's Stefan Burns. And I've made a highlight about that, so there'll be a short if you'd like to share with your friends and foes why Stefan Burns is an utter hack. He's now the most popular space weather channel on YouTube. And it sucks because Stefan Burns is a hack fraud. So there's that. Do I want to see Stefan Burns and Ben Davidson in a boxing match? Yeah, I definitely want to see Stefan Burns and Ben Davidson in a boxing match. I would be happy to be the ref for that boxing match. So yeah, if we can make that happen, Stefan Burns v. Ben Davidson in a knockdown, I don't know, make it 3 rounds because those guys aren't athletes. Make it a 3 rounds of a minute and a half. How about that? That can minimize how idiotically they look while they try to punch each other and pretend that they understand science. All right, let's see. Yeah, I do hope aliens show up like yesterday. I hear you. People are having what we would call a bad time. Shit is too expensive and everybody's broke. Nobody is willing to spend money on anything in the U.S. So there's that. China has won the trade war. China's currency has gone up 20% in the past year. The U.S. currency went down 5%. In terms of the Forex value. And in terms of gold and silver, it's gone down a lot more than that. So there's no place else to hide, which means the market is necessarily going to crash because the NASDAQ has this massive AI bubble. So I don't even really want to get into the macroeconomic stuff because it's too complicated for most dum-dums on YouTube to understand anyway. And when I bring it up, people just like say nonsense and buzzwords, just like when they try to debate about science. So, they don't understand economics, and so I don't debate them on it. If you've got somebody who's an economic illiterate, don't debate them on economics. Anyway, here's where planets are located at the moment. We've got this spooky line of planets right here. Oh no, it's very dangerous. Look out. Mercury's in retrograde or something. Like, this matters in any way. But that's where things are located here on the 5th, January. I don't know why I have another space weather enthusiast dashboard, so that's gone. No spikes in the proton flux here. The high energy particles measured by the GOES 18 are at baseline levels. X-ray flux is just at a background C level, a little higher than it's been for the past couple of days, but pretty uneventful, no major flares. Here is our heliosphere. We're going to show the last couple of days. This is the last 4 days. Earth is now in a South Pole-oriented magnetic sector. If you look at the last image, so South Pole-oriented coronal holes are now in charge of the heliosphere's magnetism, the portion that, couples with Earth's magnetic field. Here is what we're talking about. Let's just show today for our line of sight coronal hole field plot. There you go. That's the magnetic fields of the current hole systems. As you can see, the North Pole-oriented ones here are becoming increasingly fixated at the southern heliographic pole, which is what you can expect to happen at solar minimum. In fact, at solar minimum, they are largely constrained only at the poles. But that's what's going on at the moment. South Pole-oriented magnetic sector, South Pole-oriented transequatorial coronal hole. So these will provide a significant increase in solar wind velocity, especially, and a big spike in the density when that wave first shows up, the coronal hole high-speed stream. Next, we'll look at some magnetograms here to see what's going on with the new flaring, although it's pretty minor. We're just going to look at the latest from Cerro Tololo, Chile. There is our ground-based magnetogram. Most likely place for a large solar flare is certainly on this western limb, but there is some minor potential. This looks like alpha class sunspots here. It looks like a reverse polarity sunspot may be showing up there, but this is the area where you can expect to see flaring. So I suspect this is responsible for the uptick in X-ray flux. Expect about a 4% increase in X-ray flux as this active region here, especially this region right here. This is the most magnetic shear, followed by this and then by this. So yeah, the western portion of the closest star is the most likely place to produce large flares as of today. And that is very obviously evidenced by the magnetograms. High magnetic shear areas are the most likely to produce large flares. So here's today's data from Cerro Tololo, Chile, the red light spectra. This is similar to like if you were just using visible light. But this is filtered for 677 nanometers. That is red light, red visible light there from the Atacama Desert. Now we're going to look at a couple days of filaments here. We're going to use the 3rd through the 5th because we want to be able to see the CME producing filaments, since there were 2 CMEs that U Redding is forecasting to be on the way. One appears to be this one, which is very much in the Earth-facing zone, and the other one is this one right here. So you'll see this filament right here. Whoops, that one goes. And then this one down here. Anyway, I'll just let that play for a minute and get back to your comments as I see a number more have come through. I'm going to move this off screen so you can see the full solar disk, but keep the comments coming, especially if they're interesting and or hilarious. Yeah, thanks, viewers. Congratulations on realizing the channel exists. Space weather is becoming more and more interesting and popular, and it's not going away because of the emphasis on private space flight. So the lucky thing is that within not too long, you'll be able to space flight and go into space for five figures. It's coming. It's not too far away. Give it a couple of years. I'd say within 2 years, you'll be able to go to space on less than $100,000 USD. All right, what else do we have here? Yeah, that's like those planets really aren't very aligned because that image of the from the planetstoday.com, that's not to scale. Planets are really far apart and they're very rarely in a close alignment. So like that website makes things look a lot more aligned than they really are. And just to reiterate, planetary alignments don't really do anything from a physics perspective. So if you think it'll do something, yeah, it might affect your behavior or something like that. But anyway, let's see. Natural 9743 says, we don't have much time left. Actually, our finest days lie ahead, so I take exception to that. You're wrong. The end is not near. And if you think the end is near, well, extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence. Guru Girl 1397 says, I heard CERN blew up the universe. Yeah, people talk about CERN all the time. CERN's not capable of doing anything of the sort. It's just creating strong magnetic fields and then accelerating particles using the magnetic fields to get some physics about things like the early universe. So yeah, if you're spooked of CERN, that's an issue. I would recommend you take Physics 1 and understand maybe Physics 2 as well, so that you understand electricity and magnetism as well as basic physics. Do you think we've been to the moon? Yeah, I think we've been to the moon. Robert Bigelow space motel coming soon. Yeah, maybe. Guru Girl, are you a teacher? Is Elon real life Batman? No, Elon is real life hack fraud. He lies to investors to pad his own pockets, and then dumb people think that Elon is looking out for them. Elon is not looking out for you. Elon is looking out for Elon. His biggest concern is looking cool. Looking cool is Elon's goal. I'm pretty sure that's it. Anyway, let's move on. Since we showed you the filaments that are on the way to Earth, going to produce some space weather in the next couple of days, some mid-latitude aurora, hopefully, because of this filament and this filament blasting off and now rocketing toward Earth at hundreds of kilometers per second. Next is the electron flux data. This is measured at the F layer. So that's the GOES 19 and GOES 18, measuring the ions. Though this is charged particles measured at the F layer of the ionosphere, which is this region right here, shown on this nice convenient diagram. Space weather begins at the D region, and it ends at a sunspot. Space weather, increasingly important. Now, this affects your GPS, and it looks like we've had a little bit of a respite here in the electron flux. So you'll see the highest levels at noontime local time for the satellites. And as you can see here, yesterday it continued to storm. So it's right now, it's going to continue to storm here with the electron flux. So expect bad performance from your GPS, especially around the equator at noontime. Here is the ionosphere, a nice convenient map showing you the frequency. Keep in mind that is the F layer. Once again, it's showing you a nice graphical display there. There is the anomaly in megahertz from a 30-day median, and it is pretty uneventful. Again, high electron flux though, so expect bad GPS performance. Next, we'll show an image of the closest planet. Yeah, the one you're probably sitting or standing on right now. And here is the sunrise over the Atlantic. Let's put your comments back on the screen. And welcome to 2026. If I haven't said so, Happy New Year. Make sure you join us on social media, smashomash.com. I'll put it in the comments. Our homepage has all the links for you to visit us on social media. Press that share button. Thanks to everybody who has. Now there's a nice pinned comment there that you can all use to visit the homepage, visit us on social media, tell your friends and foes about the channel, etc. Anyway, let's see what else we have here in the comments. Thank goodness. I'm glad you're not spooked, Guru Girl. Space and space weather are not scary. The sun is not going to kill you. It is the source of all life and energy on Earth, more or less. So there's that. Alienated Alien says Elon is a clone from the devil. And then says, you human never went to the moon. Well, thanks for leaving a comment there. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, thanks for leaving a comment there. Alienated Aliens. Dexter says, Dexter D5ZUGS42KB says, why no rovers in sun? I think it's because we have insufficient shields. Or we would definitely send a rover into the sun and then come back with some very interesting data and solar material. Kimberly says, I know he is evil and all, but is the devil as evil as Elon? That's an interesting philosophical question. Daniel Holmes says, do you suppose we will visit Apophis asteroid when it passes relatively close to the sun? Yeah, hopefully. Hopefully. I hope we visit Apophis. That would be amazing. Final Destination 41 says, stop having kids. Oh, it must be an anti-Elon message. I love it. Anytime somebody says something antithetical to Elon, I think it's great because I'm sick of hearing the cultists. Like, nobody should be worshiping a human. If you're worshiping a human, please stop. You have joined the temple of Moloch. Stop worshiping humans and cash. It's pathetic. Alienated Alien says, guys, we are under a firmament, period. Okay, yeah, we live in a snow globe. Whatever you say, bro. You know what satellites are, right? You see this image right here? That is literally a photograph of a spherical Earth. I mean, everybody should know that it's croissant shaped by now. So I guess we gotta show people the real shape of the planet. Earth is shaped like a croissant, folks. So it would be very wise for you to just simply stop believing NASA's lies, pick up some of these stickers or maybe a t-shirt or something, and tell people about the truth, about facts. I mean, when will you stop believing NASA's lies? Earth is shaped like a croissant. If you want to pick up some of this fantastic merch, feel free to visit the Redbubble shop. It's linked both below this video and on the homepage, right there in the description. You're like 2 clicks away from stopping your friends and foes from believing NASA's lies. When will you understand that Earth is shaped like the French breakfast pastry, not an oblate spheroid? What do you believe, Neil deGrasse Tyson, about the shape of Earth? What are you, some kind of fraud that believes Earth is shaped like a sphere? Earth is shaped like a croissant. Don't be an idiot. Next. It's the water vapor map of the U.S. I love it. Your father loves it. Your Aunt Netta watches it every night in the VCR. I'll show you a finger, Trebek. Lots of moisture here west of the Mississippi, less east of the Mississippi. That's what the water vapor map shows. It shows the dry air like this, and the moist air like this, and never the twain shall meet. Here's our radar map for the U.S. I'll take the high road and you'll take the low road, and you'll be in a bunker under chemtrails. We got some moisture. It's mainly around the Great Lakes, which is a hell of a place, folks. This is like a massive seaway right here. The Great Lakes is bonkers. And it really does intensify weather patterns by speeding up winds. Moving right along to windy.com. One would hope. Or what about a nice gray screen? Let's just go on perma gray screen. What do you say, folks? Just kidding. Here's the temperature map from windy.com. We're located in Lehigh Valley, Pennsylvania, if you're wondering. And it's a little on the cool side here. It's like 25. That's Pennsylvania. There's the rest of the country. And the real cold is actually in places like northern New York, Vermont, Maine, northern New Hampshire, where it's negative 14 Fahrenheit in parts of Vermont, it's a little bit inhospitable. Don't go outside without gloves. Your skin will make you say, son of a bittern, is it cold? Son of a GDMF and bittern. Son of a bittern. You can use that. Let's show a forecast model here based on the GFS for 72 hours. That's the US. Total accumulated positive snow depth change. This is where the white stuff will be falling over the next 3 days. That's an accurate forecast. See, on this channel, we show like 2-week forecasts or even 1-week forecasts because those aren't accurate. We show 72-hour forecasts because they are accurate. You could have probably figured that out yourself. But there you go, tropicaltidbits.com. That's the GFS 72-hour total accumulated positive snow depth change forecast in inches. Heavy stuff's coming to the northwest. Lighter stuff's coming to the northeast. Some's coming to Pennsylvania. Hopefully it comes to my backyard. Oh my God, my file couldn't be accessed. What will I do? I'm going to blame Bill Gates. All right, so here are the world's jet streams. Let's start out in the eastern world. Shout out to our viewers from all around the planet. We've got this interesting convergence here over Australia. A great time to look at Australia weather. So you see, you've got cold air coming in from the Southern Ocean here, coming over Tassie. And then you got this warm air coming this way. And you got this convergence where the jet stream then speeds up to, well, not nearly as fast as it is here. Southern Ocean is very dangerous right now, folks. It's got high winds. So this is the 250 hectopascal winds. Here are the surface winds. And yeah, the Southern Ocean is a little dangerous. Those winds there are at 34 miles an hour. It's not a good day to, row your Viking longboat from Tasmania to Australia. That's a little bit too long of a row. You want to go from someplace like this. And anyway, those are the surface winds of the eastern world. Surface winds of the central world are like this. Jet streams of Europe, Africa, and Asia looking like that. The 250 hectopascal wind band. That's a specific part of the pressure band, by the way. It shows us the jet stream. Massive anticyclone here off the west coast of Australia. Anticyclones, high pressure zones, they rotate counterclockwise in the southern hemisphere. Jet streams of the west are as follows. So we have a very strong jet stream here across the U.S. Most of the weather will be moving in a fairly predictable pattern, that is from west to east. Here are the surface winds, and you can see very strong winds there in the North Atlantic, once again, making for terrible conditions for sailing vessels. Check out the waves. Okay, it's not that bad. The worst waves here are by the Aleutians. Dude, 35 footers there off the coast of Alaska. That is a bad time. You want to run aground. The Aleutians in wintertime are definitely not a place to run aground. Look at that. That is some rough seas. Let us know if you're donning a wetsuit and going surfing at the Aleutians while I check some comments. Wow, lots of comments here. Maybe too many comments. Please don't spam. I'll just say that. All right. Final destination say women lives are easy period of. Okay. Sounds like you may be on your period there, Final Destination 41. Hopefully things clear up for you there, Chief. All right. Women got unrealistic expectations from men. Some of them. Some men have unrealistic expectations from women, too. Someone said, stop having kids. Lol, I think Bill hates humanity. It's in the chat. Maybe. Pretty sure he wanted the population to go down because he was worried about climate change. And now Bill Gates no longer thinks that carbon dioxide is going to have a noticeable effect on climate change. So you may want to read up on that stuff stuff because things have changed. Parker Solar Probe got pretty close. Yeah, the Parker Solar Probe has gotten closer than any other object. It's also gone faster than any other man-made device in known history. Money, power, women, drugs. Earth ain't flat. I know, right? It's croissant-shaped, as I stated earlier. Neuralink might be evil, or it might just be stupid. Because why would you put an electrode in your brain, a series of electrodes in your brain, with a cap on your skull, with a wire going in your brain, when you can have like a glove that has lots and lots and lots and lots of connections on your skin? You can control all kinds of stuff just by using your hand. Why the hell would you want an implant? Only an idiot does stuff like this. One of the many reasons why I think Elon Musk might be a stupid guy. I think Elon Musk might be a lot less intelligent than people seem to give him credit for. Does he have a 150 IQ? I doubt it. I doubt it. If he had a 150 IQ, you know what he would have? Anybody? Anybody want to guess in the comments what Elon Musk would have if he had a 150 IQ? A couple things. Number one, he'd have a higher sense of self-preservation. Elon Musk has a very low sense of self-preservation, a very, very low sense of self-preservation, because he does a lot of stupid things to undermine his own credibility. So that's a problem. Also, he has like 13 kids and he sees like two of them. So that's a problem. Also, Elon commits fraud over and over again and doesn't realize that the internet never forgets. So that's a problem. Elon misleads investors, which is an actual crime. That's a problem. Does he run a company that's put big payloads into space? Yeah. Does he take credit for shit other people did? 100%. That's a problem. Elon has engineered one thing besides software. The only thing Elon's invented is the plug for a Tesla. That's it. That's the only patent he has. So that's a problem because Elon gets credit for shit that he didn't do. Here's another problem. Elon claims he's a free speech advocate, yet he censors more accounts. There are more accounts banned, and there's more censorship on Twitter under Elon Musk than there was under Jack Dorsey. That's a problem. He's a fake free speech advocate. That's a problem. He's a cult leader. That's a problem. He keeps telling people to colonize Mars. That's a problem. See what I mean? There are a lot of problems. And all of these things have me convinced that Elon Musk is a lot less intelligent than people give him credit for. All of these things are things that a dumb person does, not a smart person. Here's a pressure map of of the U.S. As you can see, the low pressure is all situated here west of the Mississippi at the moment. Let's show some more solar imagery and then end this stream, because ranting about Elon Musk is boring, like Elon Musk. Boring, drab, uninteresting, and full of shit. So, I mean, if there's anything I don't need to hear more of, it's people that are full of shit. Having put out space weather videos for pushing 7 years now. Actually, we're pushing 8 years, I guess. Yeah, we're pushing 8 years. So that's a lot of space weather stuff. And believe me, we've heard a lot of nonsense. So anyway, we're going to close out with our 304 angstroms imagery. We do have a really cool crown prominence. So this, unlike Elon Musk, is actually cool. Up here, you'll see a crown prominence forming where a big filament kind of rises up here around the north heliographic polar region. That is a feature that we typically see around solar maximum. So we like to see that because it's showing us, hey, the sun's doing stuff. So they're called crown prominences, and they never occur during solar minimum. There's also a major CME popping off down here just recently. So that's pretty sweet. Right down here. Actually, multiple events there. So that is just awesome. All right. Dexter says, are you Muslim? No, I'm not. Itchy Finger says, zoom in on people living upside down. I don't know what that means. Super moon effects. I don't know what that means. You mean like because of the moon's gravity being higher? That doesn't affect very much. What are the effects, allegedly? Barbarian 1111. Neuralink is Gematria is 666. When you are paralyzed, you need Neuralink. Okay, yeah, that's a thing. So yeah, people that are paralyzed, yeah, that's a thing. People who aren't paralyzed should not even consider Neuralink because it's stupid. Beware of what's coming. Hold on to Jesus. Find him if you don't know him. Earth is flat. Well, thanks for the words of wisdom there, Zeldinkt 5609. All right, time to end this stream. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Congratulations once again on realizing the channel exists. I've been your host, Dan, a.k.a. Smash-O-Mash, signing off from the Smash News Network. Least busted name in news. And like I said, likely reaction video coming later because I've seen the most popular space weather content. And frankly, I was appalled